Hello students, hope all of you are doing good and welcome again. This is the fourth lecture of motion in one dimension. So अभी तक हम लोगों ने क्या किया? We did certain formulas that involved differentiation और हमने इन formulas पे questions के practice किया. Now onwards from here we will study some formula जिसमें कि integration use होगी, है ना? So what we are going to do? Let's do some formulas where the integration is involved over here. Now, if you remember, हमने एक formula किया था. What was the formula that was v equals to dx by dt, isn't it? So velocity, this was instantaneous velocity और ये क्या था हमारा? This was dx by dt was rate change of displacement. This was the formula involved. If you remember over there, how did we apply this formula into the question? If something is given like this, let's say if some relation is given between x and t, so here we could apply this formula and we could use this formula to get the value of v. What I mean, if relation between x and t is given to you, so you can use this formula v equals to dx by dt and you could get the relation between v and t only, isn't it? So you just have to differentiate it. T squared, the differentiation will become how much? 2t. So you get the relation between velocity and time. Okay, this is how we did this kind of question. But now what if I tell you ki it is given like this? Let's say it is given like this: v is 2 into t. There is a relation between v and t. Find the relation between x and t. So if it is given like this, how would you do it? Isn't it? So in that case, what we are going to do, we are going to apply the reverse process. As you know, this way it goes differentiation, and if I want to reverse this process, this way it will go the integration. What we will have to do, we will have to use some integration formulas. So now which integration formula we are going to study? Let's see. The first formula that you have to keep in mind is this one. Obviously, you know this formula. But now I am not talking about this form of this formula. I am talking about other form of this formula. Now what is that? Let's see here. You do one thing, take this dt to other side. And what it becomes? It becomes v into dt, isn't it? Now what you can do, you can integrate both sides. Integration of dx will be equals to integration of v into dt. Now you know, in integration you have a definite limits also. So from here, if I put lower limit to x1 and higher limit to x2, similarly if I put lower limit here from time t1 to higher limit time t2, and keep this thing in mind, एक बार जरूर mind में रखना, जिसका डेरिवेटिव होता है, see there is a derivative of time, उसी की लिमिट्स पुट करना है, so that limits are also for the time only. This way, when I solve this thing, what I will be getting here x2 minus x1. And what is x2 minus x1? You recall these things. x2 is my final position and x1 is my initial position. So x2 minus x1 is what? It's called displacement. Do you remember it? So I can write it like this also. Delta x. Delta x means that is a change. This is how I write it. So I can remember this formula is nothing but integral of v dt or integral of v dt here. Let's mark this formula over here. So this. That means now what has to be done with this formula? This means, let's say if somewhere we have been given the relation between velocity and time. Let's say this one, this, as I gave you here, there is a relation between v and t, velocity and time. So using this relation over here, I can get the value of displacement. See, I can find the value of x here. So now let's apply this formula over here. There is a question. Let's read it out. If particle is moving along x-axis, satisfies the relation v equals to 3t square plus 3. Now you look at here. There is a relation between v and t given to us. Here v equals to 3t square plus 3. This is the relation. It is saying here where v is the velocity and t is the time. Then what you have to do? You have to find the displacement between what? Between time 1 second to time equals to 3 seconds. This is given to us. Now it is very simple, बहुत easy है. But since you are doing it first time, let's do it step by step. Rest तो when you will get used to it, आप फटाफट से इन questions को कर लोगे. Okay? So here is the formula that you have to apply. I have this formula. I told you delta x means displacement is equals to integral of v into dt. The limits from time t1, which is 1 second to 3 seconds. Let's say put it 1 to 3. Now what you have to do, you have to replace this v. V is given, that is 3t squared plus 3 over here, and inside it is dt. यहाँ पे dt कर लेते हैं. Now remember your integration part, integration formulas, how you used to solve it. 3 I can take common. Integration of t square becomes how much? It becomes t cube by 3. Now how did I get it? Some of you might be confused here. Don't get confused. You use very much simple formula over here. Let me tell you which formula I have applied. The formula is this one. Integration of t raised to power n dt is always t raised to power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. You have to remember this formula again, right? So that's what I am using over here. So here मैं यहाँ पे क्या use कर रहा हूँ, यहाँ पे formula I am using this formula over here. You can take 3 outside common. 3 मैंने बाहर ले लिया common अपना, ठीक है? And then I put integration over here. You see here t square I put it like this. ओके, एंड dt को मैंने अंडर मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया dt प्लस आई केप्ट इट एज इट इज, ऐसे ही रखना है प्लस हमारा, ठीक. नाउ इंटीग्रेशन 3 अगेन dt लाइक दिस. आई हैव ओपन दिस फॉर्मूला लाइक दिस, है ना, कर सकते हैं हम इसे, नॉट अ बिग डील, इट्स वेरी इजी टू डू. नाउ लेट्स सॉल्व इट फर्दर फ्रॉम हियर. Let's apply this formula. See, t raised to power n dt here. What is n here? T raised to power n. Instead of n, there is a square. So what you have to do, and keep this thing in mind, keep the limits along with them, because we are going to perform the definite integrations. Okay. Now here 3 is as it is t square, t raised to power n. What is n? N is 2 here. So put over here. Let me solve it directly. It will be t raised to power 3 divided by 3 like this. Similarly, if I apply for this one, t3 or 3 I can take outside as it is, no worry, and integration of dt becomes equals to t only. So here is 3 outside, and remember integration of dt means like this. See, it can be written like this, t raised to power 0 equals to dt. See, if I want to solve this thing now, integration of dt, t raised to power 0 I can write. Why? Because anything raised to power 0 is 1 only. See, यहाँ पे there is a 1 factor over here. I can put it 1 over here. It's the same thing. So if I see here, again if I apply the formula above, see, n becomes 0. So what will be my answer? T raised to power 0 plus 1 divided by 0 plus 1. That means t only. So can I say integration of dt directly? Integration of dt is t only, not something else. Okay? So what I can see here, if 3 I take outside and there remains integration of dt. So integration of dt I can simply raise what? T only, and then again I put this bracket, and I will put the limits now. From here 1 to 3, here 1 to 3. Limits has to be put all the time. Okay, limits को हमेशा डालना है यहाँ पे. So here it is 3. Now how do you put the limit? आप पहले अपर लिमिट t में डालोगे, ठीक है. Replace t with the upper limit. Upper limit is called 3. So you put it like this, 3 cube by 3, then put the negative sign over here, then put the lower limit in t. So I am replacing t with 1, so 1 cube by 3 plus similarly I am doing there also 3, put the upper limit minus, put the lower limit minus 1. Okay, so here it is. Now I can simply solve it. Let's take this 3 outside, and inside it will become 9 minus 1 plus 3 into 3 minus 1, 2. So you solve it, you will get 8 plus 6, and how much you are getting? You are getting it equals to 14 meter. See if I have not done any calculation mistake somewhere. Otherwise, the process is simple and process is correct, right? So this is how we use this formula over here. Once again, I am repeating, whenever there is a relation between velocity and time, whenever there is a relation between velocity and time, you use this formula, integral of v dt, in order to get the value of delta x, है ना? Delta x over here. One more thing I want to make it clear over here. This we have done the definite integration. This is what? Definite integration. Definite means when you put the limits. I have put the limits over here, t1 to t2, t1 to t2, I have put the limit. Even if you don't want to put the limits, what you could do over here, instead of this, do it like this. See, dx will be what? Equals to v dt, isn't it? This dt I have taken that side. Don't put the limits over here. Without putting the limits, I can call it कि integration of dx will become what? X only, and this will becomes integral of v dt. But this time you see, integral of v dt, if I have to calculate, when I will calculate, I will have to put the constant sign here. You remember in indefinite integration what you used to do? You used to put plus c here while solving this here. So constant has to be put in indefinite integration. Now why this constant came? Everything you might have studied in your integration. Okay, so let's move forward. Now area under VT curve over here. कुछ और एप्लीकेशन सीख लेते हैं हम इंटीग्रेशन के. Now area under VT curve. Now what does this thing mean over here? Now you understand. Once again I am taking to those integration concept. Here in this class beta, we are heavily using our integration into our motion in one dimension. Heavily. So आपको इस चैप्टर को अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए you must know how to do the integration, what is the meaning of integration. So you need to attend the lecture of integration. Please go, if you haven't, and please attend that class first, the integration class. Fine. Once you attend that class, you will think कि this lecture is just a cakewalk. बहुत easily समझ आ रहा है हमें. But अगर वो class attend नहीं किया होगा तो it will be quite a difficult task for you. Please. So now since I am assuming that you have already taken that class, you have already watched and understood that class, what I am going to tell you next is area under VT graph. Now VT graph means once you draw this V and T graph over here. Fine. So let me remind you something from integration. See, what do you mean by integration? If I tell you there is a y-x graph, isn't it? There is a y-x graph. So do you remember, if I write this quantity integral of y dx, what is the graphical meaning of this term integral of y dx? Just remember, remind it. है ना? मैंने क्या कहा था? I told you if I have the, let's say this kind of curve is there over there, and if I have this kind of curve, if this dx जिसका डेरिवेटिव होता है, if I take it along the x-axis, आप इसको x-axis के along ले लो, है ना? Which one? Take that variable which is having the derivative. For example, here, if I want to calculate this thing, integral of v dt, see, which is nothing but which is delta x over here. So what I need to do here, जिसका derivative होता है, it's a time derivative, take it along the x-axis. Okay, and now this thing, let's call it y dash over here. So this y dash, you take it along y-axis. So I have taken it y-axis. Similarly here, this is velocity. So I have taken it along the y-axis. Now, if there is a curve, some curve over here, so this area under which, try to understand, area under the curve and the x-axis over here. Remember, not area under the curve and y-axis I am talking about. I am talking about this area. I am not talking about this area. This is wrong. Don't take this area. Okay? So this area is numerically equals to which quantity? This area is numerically equals to this quantity over here. That means this integration means what? This integration means area under the curve and the x-axis, this area. This is what we have studied in integration. So this is what we are going to use here only. If I have the VT curve, so I can easily get the value of delta x from here. Why? Because going by that formula, that means delta x equals to v dt. If you compare both this formula, you will get to understand. See, if there is a curve now, or I have VT curve, so if I can calculate this area, this one, that means area between the curve and the time axis. So that area is nothing but integral of v dt, isn't it? Area. And you see, this integral of v dt is nothing but delta x. And what is our delta x? Delta x is displacement. So what can I conclude from here? I can conclude that area under VT curve and the time axis is numerically equals to what? Is equals to displacement. Or I can say area under the VT curve will give me displacement. Got this point? So I am writing it over here for you, and just mark this thing. Keep this thing in your mind. This is important. area under, this is what you have to remember, and you can mark it also. Area under VT curve, that means velocity time curve, and time axis. Which axis? Time axis. Remember, it's always time axis. Sometimes it's also given like this. Like what? For example, sometimes the time axis is taken here and velocity is taken here, and the curve is given like this. Students still take this area. Don't take this area. Don't remember it like this is the area under this curve and x-axis. Remember it like this, under the curve and time axis. So in that case, take this area. Okay. So an area under VT curve and time axis is equal to displacement. So I am marking this term for you. You have to remember this term, important. Okay. So let's use this concept here. Can you see a graph? There is a graph in which, if it is not, see, there is a graph, there is a v velocity in the y-axis and the time in the x-axis, like this. This is time over here. So this is VT graph given to us, and you see here there is a curve also. This curve goes like this, starts from t equal to 0 and then reaches till velocity becomes 2 meters per second. Then it is flat, and then it comes down, and at 3 seconds again it touches the time axis, and then it goes further beyond, and this is basically -2 over here till it goes to -2, and then it again touches the time axis at 5. So this is the velocity time graph given to us. Now what you have been asked here, आपको क्या पता करना है? Distance and displacement of the particle in first 5 seconds has to be calculated. What you have to calculate? The distance and the displacement. Just try to understand. Now you need to understand here, there is some area lies above the time axis in this graph and some area lies below the time axis in this graph, isn't it so? There are two areas over here. Now, is there any physical significance for that? That if the area is time above time axis, does that mean something different? And if the area is below time axis, does that mean something different? It might be, yes. For that, let us try to interpret the situation over here. What exactly situation is? Let's say if I want to interpret this motion in one dimension only. So what can I understand? See, initially from 0 to 3 seconds, in the first 3 seconds, velocity is positive. Now, what does positive velocity means here? Because velocity is a vector quantity and I am saying velocity is positive. So, can I assume it is moving towards positive direction? And let's take the right hand side to be a positive direction. What I mean to say, let's say at t equal to 0, this particle was here. And slowly its speed start increasing. Till here, there is 1 second, it increasing. Then for a while, let's say it reaches from A to B. This is A, and from A till it reaches B, and from B to C its velocity was constant. See, in between its velocity was 2 meters per second. Then its speed started decreasing. Let's say at D, till it reaches D, its velocity again becomes 0. You see here, now here see 0, it became 0. Now what happened? From 3 seconds to 4 seconds, next 4 seconds, this is 1, 2, 4. In the next 1 second, his velocity becomes negative and it reaches -2. Now, what does negative mean here? See, when I was taking the positive velocity to the right hand side, so definitely I must understand the negative velocity means it's moving toward the opposite direction now, right? So I can assume it just turned back over here. So from 3 to 4 seconds, it again turned back. Let's say this was point D, this is point E. Then he reached at point E, and then what happened? From E to once again back. Let's say F, final point F. Again he reached point F, and here what he did? Here again the velocity becomes 0, and he stopped over here. He stopped. So I have interpreted this situation like this. I have interpreted this situation for you. You need not to interpret this situation all the time, but in order to explain the concept that I want to tell you, I am interpreting this situation. Okay. Now try to understand over here. See, I can tell you from 0 to 3 seconds here. From that means from A to D point, as you can see. And if I calculate the area, I know this area is nothing but equals to the displacement only. So what I can say, if I calculate this area, let's say this area is A1. This area is A1 and this area is A2. The downwards area is A2. Now you see, if I calculate the area, I will get displacement, whatever displacement I get. But since I can get displacement, but I will get displacement to the right hand side, isn't it? And this is the magnitude of displacement, A1. Whatever it is, it will come how much? Equal to A1. I know this thing. And from D to F, whatever will come, this is the magnitude of A2. This length will be equals to A2 and this much length will be equals to A1. Getting my point? Because I said ki area is equals to displacement. So A1 area will be equals to displacement from A to D and A2 area will be displacement from D to F. But you understand one thing. A1 display from A to D displacement is positive. So I can say the area which lies above the time axis will give me positive displacement. What kind of displacement? Positive displacement. Right? And area that lies below the time axis, you see, it is giving me what kind of displacement? It is giving me negative displacement. What kind of displacement? Negative displacement. So you mark these important points here. These are important things that I told you. If the area lies above, it will give you positive displacement. If the area lies below, it will give you negative displacement. Mark these terms. Now, if I want to calculate the area, see, it's just asking me to calculate distance and displacement of the particle from 0 to 5 seconds. From here, from this point to this point. So how can I get it? Very simple. I just get these areas over here. So let's calculate them. Now you see what is the shape of this thing. This is what you try to understand. This is basically a trapezium. So what is the area of trapezium? So I can say A1 is the area of a trapezium. So first of all, let's calculate. So area of trapezium is equals to half sum of parallel sides. Those who don't remember, parallel sides multiply with it distance between those two parallel sides. This is how area is written. Now you see what are the parallel sides over here. These are the parallel sides BC and this OD are the parallel sides, isn't it? We sum them up. BC is how much? 1 to 2. It's 1. This much. And how much is OD? 1, 2, 3. It's 3. Fine. BC is 1 and OD is 3. So I can write it like this. 1 plus 3. You can do it yourself also. It's easier. And what is the distance between two parallel sides? This and this. See. This distance is 0 to 2, that means 2 meters per second. That means I will take the numerical value only. So it is 2 into 2. So you see what is the area? This came out to be 4. So that means plus 4 I will take it. So that means this displacement from A to D was 4 meters. Similarly, calculate the area for A2. A2 will be basically triangle but nothing. You see base of the triangle is 3 to 5, 2. And this height is how much? 0 to 2. This much is from here to here. It's 2. And this much is how much? This much is 2 again. So 2 seconds and 2 meters per second. So it becomes, what is the formula? This formula is for triangle is half base into height. This is how you write it. Right? So it will be half quickly 2 into 2. So that means that how much it will become? 2 meters. Now this is just a number over here. Now you use your common sense. If I want to get the displacement and distance, see, if I want to get the distance first. As you know, for distance, what do we do? See, if I want to calculate distance from A to F, so you know distance is the actual total length of the path covered, isn't it? Distance is the total length of the path covered wherever you went, either. So you just keep on calculating that length of the path. So you see, first he went from A to D and then from D to F. So distance will become from A to D and from D to F. From A to D it's 4 and from D to F it's 2. So you see, in order to calculate distance, I will have to add both the areas, isn't it? I will have to add A1 and A2. So I can say, if I want to calculate the distance, just add both the areas. Don't take positive and negative in consideration. So A1 plus A2, that will becomes 4 plus 2, that is 6 meters. Just add both of them. You need not to worry about it. But if you are asked about the displacement, let's say they are asking me about displacement. Now remember the definition of displacement. So what is displacement? You use Remember it, displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final point. So displacement, or better you say, displacement does not depend on the length of the path, but it only depends on the initial and final point. So here is our initial point A and this is our final point F. So what we need to do here, we need to draw the vector here. This is our displacement. This is how you do it. Displacement is a vector drawn from initial to final point. Here it is displacement. And what is the magnitude of, if there is a vector, so how do we calculate the magnitude of vector? You just need to calculate the length of this vector, isn't it? And moreover, if I want to calculate displacement, I will have to subtract these areas. See, this much length, displacement, because I need, for displacement I need this much length, will be equals to the length this one, subtracting, and I will subtract this length from here. Fine. See, so that means I will subtract this length from this length, so I will get this length. Got it? So that means I will have to subtract A2 from where? From A1, and I will get the displacement. So whenever you want the displacement, you just take it as a negative. As already I told you, A2 is negative displacement and A1 is positive displacement. So what I mean to say, for displacement you will have to subtract these both the area. That means area above the time axis you take it positive and below you take it negative. So when I will subtract, the displacement will become plus 4 minus 2, that will become plus 2 meter. So this will be my displacement. So for displacement you just subtract the areas, and for distance you just add the areas. This is how we can calculate the distance and displacement from the VT curve, VT graph. And moreover, please try to understand, if I was asked the distance and displacement between, let's say, instead of, it is saying that instead of first 5 seconds, अगर मुझे ये कहा होता कि calculate only between 2 to 5 seconds. So remember, if it was asked between 2 to 5 only, I will have to do the calculation. So start the calculation from 2 to 5. Just don't bother about the area that lies before. Okay. अगर मुझे निकालना है कि 2 से लेकर 5 सेकंड तक कितना डिस्प्लेसमेंट है, सो आई विल ओनली कैलकुलेट दिस एरिया एंड दिस एरिया, दैट्स इट. एंड फॉर डिस्टेंस आल्सो आई विल कंसीडर दिस मच एरिया. Just forget about the area that is lying before. Okay, so this is how we calculate over here the distance and the displacement. Now just like this formula, there is another formula also that we need to practice. ये formula हमने अच्छे से किया, very good. Now next formula, it won't be that much difficult for you to understand. It will be very easy. See, you have also studied one relation. That one relation is what? See, you have studied this, acceleration equals to dv by dt, isn't it? This is what you have studied, right? So what happened over here? Sometimes the relation between velocity and time is given to us, and in order to get the acceleration, we just need to differentiate this velocity, isn't it? And we used to get it like this, 2t, acceleration equals to 2t मिल जाता था. Now again, if in reverse, let's say I put a reverse question to you, कि acceleration is 2t and just find v, ना? Now how do I do it? V and t relation दिया है, so I can find the relation between A and T easily. But अगर A and T के बीच में relation दिया है and I need to find the relation between V and T, so how will I get it? Yeah? So this is, now let's understand how to get it. As you know, it's very simple. If we go like this and use differentiation, so we will go like this and we will use integration. Okay, so here is the formula for you. A equals to dv by dt, very much true. In the same way, जैसे हमने पहला वाला फॉर्मूला किया था, वैसे इसमें भी प्रोसीड करेंगे. So dv will becomes how much? A into dt, isn't it? Take this dt to that side. Now what you do? Put the limits over here. यहाँ पे हमने limits put कर ली. Now from here, limits किसकी जाएगी? Here limits will be time t1 to t2. In the same case, here limits यहाँ पे किसकी जाएगी? Velocity की, v1 से v2. Fine. Now I have now what I need to do? Let's solve it. dv का इंटीग्रेशन हो जाएगा v, लिमिट्स जाएगी v1 से लेकर v2 तक. यहाँ पे लिमिट्स किसकी हो जाएगी? t1 से t2 तक, एंड इट विल बी a dt. सो इसकी मैं वहां पे लिमिट्स पुट कर लेता हूँ. आई एम पुटिंग द लिमिट्स at left hand side. So v की जगह I will write v2 minus v1 equals to integral of a dt t1 से t2. So that means delta v is equals to integration of a dt. integration of a dt and along with the limits t1 से t2. So this is the next formula that you have to remember. It is very much similar to the previous formula जो हमने पढ़ा है, delta x equals to v dt. Instead of v we have a, instead of delta x we have delta v. So what does it mean? इसका मतलब क्या है कि हमें इंटीग्रेशन, इससे हमें डेल्टा वी चेंज इन वेलोसिटी मिल जाएगा. नाउ लेट्स टेक एग्जांपल फॉर दिस आल्सो. इसके लिए एग्जांपल आपके पास ये है. लेट्स कैलकुलेट दिस थिंग. देखो, देयर इज अ पार्टिकल विच इज इनिशियली एट x इक्वल्स टू 2. एक पार्टिकल हमारा इनिशियली कहाँ है? x इक्वल्स टू 2. लेट्स ट्राई टू ड्रॉ दिस सिचुएशन हियर. दिस इज अ पार्टिकल और ये है हमारा x इक्वल्स टू 2 इनिशियली. Now he starts from rest. Now what does rest means? Rest means its velocity was 0 initially. Let's take u equals to 0 and moves along x-axis that satisfy the relation acceleration equals to 2t. Now he is moving in such a way, maybe to that side, that his acceleration is depending on the time. That means acceleration and time. There is a relation that is given to us. So where a is the acceleration, t is the time. Find its velocity and displacement at t equals to 3 seconds. So it says, see, at t equal to 0 it started from here. Let's say at some time t equals to 3 seconds he might have reached somewhere. So what you need to calculate here, you need to calculate two things here, that what was its displacement till this point and what was its velocity at this point. Velocity also you find it out and this displacement also you find it out. Let's call it x only. Can we do this thing? Of course, why not? Acceleration and time relation is given, and what we need, we will use this formula we have learnt over here. So I will use this formula and I will try to find what? I will try to find the relation between velocity and time over here. Fine. So here, let's try this thing. As we know, this dv over here is equals to a dt. Let's use this formula, and from here, let's say in this part, what I am going to get here, if you see this formula, here I have put the limits over here, t1 to t2. Here, when I was solving this thing over here, I had put the limit. What you can do over here, all the time you need not to put the limits. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको हमेशा लिमिट डालना पड़ेगा. Let me start solving it from here only in that case. So if I am solving it here only, why do I put the limit? I am not going to put the limits to the left hand side. I will only put the limits to the right hand side, but that too if it is necessary. So let's first of all solve it without limits only. A dt, instead of acceleration, what am I doing? This a is equals to 2t. So let's put the value. A is equals to 2t. Right now I am not putting the limits over here, though I can do so, but let's see why I am not doing so. So let's take the 2 outside and the integration of dv will becomes what? V only. So I will take 2 outside and integration of dt t dt, what it will be? I will get it 2 and you know t square by 2. You know which formula I have used, isn't it? हमने अभी क्लास में किया भी है. Plus C, what happens, आपने इंटीग्रेशन में क्या सीखा है? If you don't put the limits, you have to add something. That something is constant of integration. So we have to put this thing, constant of integration. So I get the relation between v and t. It will be v equals to t square plus c, isn't it? This is the relation that I have got it over here. Now try to understand over here. I need to get the value of v as at what time? At t equals to 3 seconds. So what are the limits here? The limits for time here can be taken as t equal to 0 to t equals to 3. I could have taken that thing. And what are the limits of velocity? Limits of velocity I could have taken u0 to v at this point, whatever it is. Okay? So here, while solving t1 to t2, t1 is 0 second and t2 is 3 seconds over here, and v1 to v2, v1 is 0. Okay, let's do it over here. t1 0 to 3, v1 to v2, v1 is u, which is 0, and v2 is v, that we have to find it out. We could have directly put these values over here, 0 to 3 and like 0 to v, but I did not put it, so I am doing it in another way. Why? Because I want to tell you a concept behind here. So concept is boundary condition. Our concept is how to find the value of c here. See, if I want to get the value of c, I will use the help of this limit over here. this limit. This is called boundary condition. What do we call them? Boundary condition. Boundary condition are certain conditions that are given to us in the question. See, at t equal to 0, the velocity is 0. So I will get the value of c here. Put here, putting, ठीक है, t equal to 0, v is 0. So that means I will put 0 equals to 0 plus c. So what will be the value of c? The value of c comes out to be 0. Once the value of the c is 0, I can get the exact relation. So exactly v will be equals to how much? V will be equals to t square. Now this is the exact velocity time relation, right? So if I have got this exact relation, now what I can do? Now I can put the other limits. I need to find the value of v at t2 equals to 3 seconds. So just put the value of t over here. So once I put t2 equals to 3 seconds, let's say 3 seconds, 3 square. So the velocity that I will get will be very easy. So velocity I will get will be 9 meter per second. This will be my answer. Very simple, not a difficult task. Otherwise, there is another way also. Here only I could have put these values over here. Now let me see. Here already I could have put this 0 to v equals to a is nothing but 2t. This is a, and time from 0 to 3. If I have solved it, I have to solve it. It will be 2 square by 2 here, 0 to 3, and this will become v minus 0. See here, now in definite integration we don't put the limits, so it would have been come like this, 2 by 2 it would have been directly, so I would have got directly equals to 9. Now what's the difference between this and that part? From here, from the definite limits, I won't get the relation between v and t. However, if I do the integration indefinitely, I will get this relation between v and t. The only difference here is, in indefinite integration, we put the limits later on, and in definite integration, we put the limits. In definite integration, we put the limits earlier, initially, at this stage only. So this is only the difference, okay? Now, if you want to go to the next part of this question, now it is saying find the displacement also you have to find at 3 seconds. Now, you have to approach in the same way. See, we have, in order to get the displacement, you see, what we require. In order to get the displacement, we require the relation between velocity and time. So do we have that relation? Yes, of course. Where this is the B part of the problem. Right? If you want to get the relation, do we have the relation? See, we have found the relation. What is the relation between V and T? The relation between V and T is V equals to T square. Now, I want to get the displacement, so I can use this formula now. Delta x equals to integration of V dt, isn't it? And just put the limits of time from 0 to 3. I will get this answer, isn't it? Quickly, I am doing this thing because we have already done this kind of problem before. Fine. So t square I put the limits from 0 to 3. So I will get it over here. So t cube by 3 and the limits from 0 to 3. This way I can solve it very easily over here. So once I solve it, what I will be getting over here? I will be getting this 3 cube by 3 minus 0. So that will be 9 again. Isn't it? It is coming. So my delta x is how much? Delta x is 9 meters. Now delta x means what? X2 minus x1. Now x2 minus x1. What was x1? x1 was, it is saying, see, what was x1? x1 was this, x equals to 2, and x2 is, that is I need to find out, isn't it? So what am I going to do here? Since I have got delta x equals to 9 over here, delta x equals to 9, so x2 minus x1 equals to 9. So x2, though we are already only asked about the displacement only, so though displacement I have got equals to 9, but let's say if I had to find the final coordinate also, so I could use this thing. Initial coordinate is plus 2 equals to 9, so final coordinate will be 9 plus 2, how much? 11. So what I got here, that displacement was 9, so x2 and this, so x1 is if 2, then x2 will be how much? x2 kitna ho jayega hamara? It will be 11 meters, okay, from here. So this is how we approach the question, and this is how we do the integration integration, and this is how we apply the formulas over here. Now do you understand ki why did I do the indefinite integration here? मैंने indefinite integration क्यों किया था? If I would not have done the indefinite integration, मेरे साथ क्या problem आती? Problem was that if I have here indefinite integration, आप पहले ही अगर limits put कर लोगे तो you won't get the relation between v and t. And in order to solve for delta x, फाइंड आउट करने के लिए यू नीड द रिलेशन बिटवीन v and t. So that's why you need to do the indefinite integration first over here. So there was a reason behind it. You can practice similar kind of questions here for the calculus. These calculus based questions will be given in your textbooks. आप उनको practice करोगे तो you will get used to it and it will be a lot more easier for you to do so. Now next is area under AT graph. Now you remember area under VT graph? Now area under AT graph means what? Again I am repeating the same thing. See, integration y dash dx हमने अभी भी पढ़ा है. This area y dash dx means what? This integration means area. Similarly, if I have this quantity, see, instead of y dash, I have acceleration over here and time over here, and there is a curve. So this area is what? This area is what? Its area is ADT. Again, I am repeating it fast because हमने अभी पढ़ के आए हैं. ये एरिया, एक्सेलेरेशन ये हो गया, टाइम ये हो गया, ये एरिया हो गया, और ये क्वांटिटी क्या है? ये क्वांटिटी तो डेल्टा वी है. वेरी मच राइट. डेल्टा वी का मतलब क्या है? चेंज इन वेलोसिटी. तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि एरिया अंडर एटी कर्व एंड टाइम एक्सिस is equals to what? Is equals to change in velocity. इसके बराबर आएगा चेंज इन वेलोसिटी. इट्स वेरी मच सिमिलर टू द एरिया अंडर वीटी कर्व. जैसे एरिया अंडर वीटी कर्व एंड टाइम एक्सिस वाज व्हाट? चेंज इन पोजीशन, दैट इज डिस्प्लेसमेंट. सिमिलरली एरिया अंडर एटी कर्व एंड टाइम एक्सिस इज व्हाट? चेंज इन वेलोसिटी ओनली. Isn't it? Remember this thing. So इस चीज को याद करते हुए let's try this question also here. And similarly in the previous concept what we understood that there is two areas. One is above the time axis and one is below the time axis. We will also try to understand here also कि इसका मतलब क्या होता है exactly. Now you see the question here. इस क्वेश्चन में क्या है? आपको एक एक्सेलेरेशन दिया है यहाँ पे y एक्सिस में एंड टाइम दिया है x एक्सिस में इन सेकंड्स. दिस इज 1 सेकंड, 2 सेकंड एंड 3 सेकंड. एंड दिस इज हाउ एक्सेलेरेशन इज गिवन. फ्रॉम 0 to 1 it is constant. It is equals to 4 meter per second. From 1 to 2 it's 0 and from 2 to 3 it's how much? It's minus 2 meter per second. This is the acceleration given to you. And what you need to find here? What you need to find here? It says at t equal to 0 the particle velocity was 1 meter per second. That means let's say he was here. This is point A. At that means t equal to 0. Let's say at I'm writing it like this. Velocity was 1 meter per second. Just keep this thing in mind. From the following graph, what we have to find out? We have to find out velocity as t equals to 1, 2, 3 second respectively. Let's first of all do this point कि आपको 1 second यहाँ पे 2 second और 3 second पे velocity बताना है. You have to tell the velocity. Now try to understand. हमने क्या पढ़ा है कि ये जो area है, this area gives you change in velocity. What? Change in velocity means delta v. And how do we write change in velocity? We write it like this: v2 minus v1. Can we calculate it, this area? Very easy. See, it's a rectangle only. See, it's 4 into 1. How much it is? 4. So I will write it 4 over here. So once I write it 4, and what is v1? V1 means what? At t equal to 0 initially, that v1 is v. V1 is given 1 meter per second. V1 means initial velocity. Initial velocity was at t equal to 0 and final velocity was at, let's say, at 1 second. 1 second final velocity will be v2. So v2 will be what? v2 minus v1 is plus 1 equals to 4. So v2 that I will get will be 5 meter per second. Please try to understand. This area gives me the change. This area does not give me the velocity. Velocity नहीं देता है, change देता है. तो change कितना है मेरा? 4. और अगर मेरा यहाँ पे if at this point my velocity was 1 meter per second and कितना change आया? Plus 4 is the change. So definitely at 1 second now what will be my velocity? My velocity will be 5 meter per second. Isn't it fine? Now next, from 1 to 2 if you move, is there any area? No area. So if there is no area, so there is no change in velocities from here to here. No change in velocity. That means if at 1 second the velocity is 5 meter per second, so at 2 second also the velocity will remain 5 meter per second. The reason is no area, no change in velocity, so velocity will remain same till here. Now you calculate this thing over here. This area how much? You see again, if I take the rectangle, this is 2 here and this is 1. So this area is numerically coming out to be 2. Now this 2 means what? That means there is a change in velocity. How much change? 2. But remember one thing, here is a trick. आपको याद होगा velocity time में above the time axis you take that, it will give you positive displacement, and below the time axis it was giving you negative displacement. Similarly here also, whenever the area is above the time axis, the change that you will take will be positive. That will be a positive change in velocity. And whenever there is a axis below time axis, the curve is there below time axis, the area that you take will be negative. That means it will give you negative change. So instead of taking it 2, take it -2 over here. Let me write this point also for you. In AT curve, if the area is above x-axis, so it will give you positive change in velocity. Okay? And if the area is below the time axis, it will give you negative change in velocity. Negative means here the velocity will decrease and here the speed will increase. Okay? Now here area is -2, so it's the change in velocity. So what was the velocity here? I call it velocity was v2 here, let's call. And what is the velocity here? v3 here. So what I can write over here, this, try to understand, this area is -2, which will be v3 minus v2. This is the change. So -2, how much is v3? My v3 I have to calculate, and v2 kitna hai mere paas? +5. So how much I get? v3 will become how much? Equals to -2 plus 5, that will become +3 meter per second, which is very much true. Now let's try to understand the complete situation. Here the velocity was 1 and the area came +4, so I have to add 4 into the 1. So 1 plus 4, how much the velocity become? 5. Then from here to here area is 0, so velocity will remain same. So at 2 velocities again how much? 5. From here to here area is -2. Now a -2 means negative change in velocity. So initially at 2 velocity was 5, so I will reduce 2 from 5. Okay, so the velocity get reduced over here in terms of magnitude. So 5 minus 2, how much? If it reduces, how much it will become? It will become 3 meter per second. So likewise I have obtained the velocities at different points. At t equal to 0, v was 1, t equals to 1, v was 5, t equals to 2, v remained 5 only, and t equals to 3, v became again 3. So this is 1, 5, 5, 3. This is how velocity changed. Okay, and all the positive velocities are there. Now you see here, this was our first part. In second part, what is it asking? It is asking distance traveled in 3 seconds. Now can you calculate this distance traveled in 3 seconds? That means from here to here. Just think about it using the graph only. Now if you remember, हम अब हमारा VT graph remember करें, we could get the distance from VT graph but not from AT graph, isn't it? So since I have the AT graph, can I plot VT graph? Yes, of course I can plot. It's not a difficult thing to plot VT graph. If you have attended those class ना, graphs वाली अगर आपने class लगाई होगी तो you will understand how to draw it. See, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second. You know when the acceleration curve is like this. How do velocity time curve look like? See, at t equal to 0 second, velocity was 1. You see, and at 1 second it becomes how much? +5. So it goes like this. So it will become 5. Let's say this is 5. Then from 1 to 2 second it remains 5 only. It will go like this. And from 2 to 3 it became how much? 3. So let's say this is 3 here. So it become here 3. So this is how it will look like. This is the velocity time graph, very simple. Because I know when the nature of acceleration time graph is like this, in uniformly accelerated motion, the nature of velocity time graph is like this. When the acceleration is 0, somewhere in middle, this acceleration is 0 from here to here. So the velocity becomes constant. This is the velocity time graph. Now you just need to do what? You just need to calculate this area, because area under VT graph will give you displacement. Since it is a positive displacement only, so this displacement will become equals to distance only, because there is only one area. You calculate this area and you will get the distance over here in the first 3 seconds. It's very simple, not a difficult task. Okay. So what we learned today in this class, we learned 4 things. Okay, one is the integration formulas, how to get the value of velocity in this part when I am given the relation between acceleration and time, and how to get the value of acceleration also when the velocity time relation is given. I can do it in two methods. One is the calculus method, the calculation part, and another method is the graphical method. हम calculus से भी solve कर सकते हैं, और अगर graph दिया है तो हम graph से भी solve कर सकते हैं. Fine. So this is what we learned today. So and for that again I am repeating, you have to be sound with the integration. आप integration को जाके पहले जरूर देखिएगा. Okay. I hope you learned. Now practice more questions on this question and we will meet next time. Thank you.